Alright, so as you can see, I wasn't recording my audio, so now this is me in the future, and I'm watching this video back. It took a while to get this edited, and I also have another video coming out soon. Look how scared I was. That was kind of scary, I'm not gonna lie. If you go back to that, like how I was completely unprepared for that. So like, yeah, it was pretty scary. But what's even more scary is how long it took for me to beat this guy. I'm not gonna lie, I spent so much time, but I literally had to speed this up because I probably had like an extra 2 hours of just me fighting this guy, and I kind of just had to freaking speed it up. Otherwise, it's literally be like just me just doing the same fight over and over again, getting poisoned, getting hit, getting running out of mind, and then But what the problem was is that this guy actually can't die because he's a ghost. I mean, how do you kill a ghost? But then again, the game lets me kill the banshees in like the cave, so I thought that it would let me kill this guy, but you can't really kill him, unfortunately. And that was my issue, is I was too stubborn. And then at a certain point, I'm kind of just like, what am I even doing with myself? This is lame. So I'm like, okay, let's just say I got destroyed for like 30 minutes. Really, it wasn't 30 minutes. It was probably like 2 hours. But anyways, at a certain point, watch this. I decide to leave him alone. But I go to this armor set, and I notice there's something underneath the armor. So I decide to attack it, and then voila, not a ghost, but it's the actual guy, or at least it's something like the actual guy. And then I have no health, so I kind of just give up. So now I'm kind of just back to where I'm kind of just formulating a plan, and now I have the plan. So I have this book, and I decide to open it up, and then I get an ability called Blood Sacrifice. Then there's this tomb over here, and I can sacrifice my blood. So once I do that, it gives me a random skill, and the skill I got is Necromancy. Now Necromancy is important because I want to use Necromancy in the future. So now my goal is kind of just gonna be to just beat this guy up. So now I kind of just avoid him. Now I'm kind of just going to go fight that armor set. This armor attacked you. So now I kind of just blow up his armor, and then that's kind of a quick way to get rid of him because like it seems like every piece is like one shot, and I noticed that after like fighting him for like 2 hours, I kind of became like a master at fighting him. What's really good about this area is that I can get some new scrolls, and I can get an empty scroll, which is what I was trying to get the last episode, but I never got to this area because of that stupid ghost, and I didn't figure it out until like this episode, how to beat him. I'm kind of just grabbing everything and get my scroll, and now I'm kind of just looking around at some enchants. Now it's just about time for me to leave. Now you could save scum it and kind of get whatever you want, but I kind of just didn't feel like doing that. So at this point, I'm kind of just moving around, and I'm kind of just like, all right, let me actually try to get rid of. I need to get rid of one compadre. I need to get rid of one of my compadres, and I also need to use this ritual stuff so that I can get some new abilities by sacrificing some blood. But the main reason I came back to this prison over here on the second floor is because I want to fight this guy, so I can get rid of him instantly by using counter magic, which basically counters any spells that like he's utilizing. So because like he's a zombie, I can just counter it and instantly beat him. And then I take his body, and then I resurrect him, and then I turn him into one of my slaves, and he's part of my group now. Now the main reason why I got this ghoul over here is that I wanted a skeleton, but I couldn't really get it. And after I beat up these priests over here that are kind of just worshiping. Well, I probably can't say that. They'll probably get taken out of context. Probably in like, I don't know, 20 years. Probably like tomorrow, probably. If I'm really being honest. Anyways, I beat up the priest. And then I decided to sacrifice this guy. Poor guy. Anyways, I decided to move along. I put the book into the bookshelf. I'm kind of just like, alright. It's time for me to get to doing what I'm about to do. Which is to merge two characters together. So I used the ghoul. And then I merged with my slave. And then I was hoping it would give me the ability to use better armor, but it doesn't. I still have to use the priest armor, but it's fine. I can dual wield weapon. I can use two-handed weapons now instead of being stuck to one-handed weapons. But the reason why I came back to the first level is that it has this like enchanted sword that kind of like makes you go crazy. But the sword is extremely strong. It's called Miasma, which I grabbed here. And then I go back to the bottom floor to go rescue my compadre that I left behind because I needed a slot so I can go recruit the ghoul. And now we're kind of just going to the new area now. And that guy's kind of chasing me, but he's never going to catch up. I honestly thought you might have caught up. I'm not going to lie to you. Now we're in the ancient city, the Tomb of the Gods. At this point, I'm kind of like, what is going on? Also, why is my freaking head not in the shot? That's very terrible peripheral vision by me. Anyways, I kind of decided to just break down these doors because I have enough party members to where I do enough damage. But I think these guys are kind of starving because I don't know why he did 200 damage. Oh no, he's not starving. Never mind. Oh, I'm not. I don't have any weapons equipped. There's no way. Wait. Can I please equip some weapons? Oh no, I'm kind of just optimizing my stuff right now. Bone shearers, I've kind of noticed is that like I did like it when I first tried it. I thought it was a pretty lucky item. I think I got the cursed version. No, I think I got a cursed mail or something like that. That's different. But the bone shears are actually like very inaccurate. So if I try to go for an early headshot, it's kind of unlikely that they're gonna work. But the fact that I have so many items now after I've like pursued the game so much, I now have so many items to where I can really start protecting myself and really start putting on some very heavy gear. Now I really wanted Miasma because the Lagarde only has one arm, so it's probably best for him to just have a really strong item. Oh gosh. Walking from this back is making me sleepy. I do have 58 minutes more of this. But to be fair though, honestly, I could have probably beat these guys instantly by using counter magic. Now that I think about it, because I was watching it back and I think I tried it like at one point. I don't know if I tried it in this run. It's kind of hard for me to remember. But I was assuming that I couldn't use counter magic because if I used counter magic, I thought that these guys were like resurrected by the gods, and I thought that you couldn't overcome the magic of the gods. So that's kind of like why I didn't. That's why kind of why I didn't do it. Otherwise, I probably would have tried to do it. Or maybe I'm just stupid. One of the two is true. Actually, both things can be true, Loki. Anyway, I decided to beat up this other ghoul here. I still don't know what that status effect does. You know, where that guy's bone is broken. I would assume that that's very significant, but it doesn't really seem to be proving me much problems. It might just leave me more like vulnerable or something. I was assuming it just meant you couldn't use the arm or something. I thought I was out of 2 arms. But anyways, there's this other area to the map. And of course it has zombies in it. Why do these gods like want zombies guarding their tombs? I mean, this is kind of like a chess area. Honestly, I still don't know what to make of this, watching this back. I thought it had something to do with the poems or the maps that I killed the guy for. But it's not. Anyways, for some reason this guy can't get over that. So much for being a zombie. Anyways, I'm gonna knock his head off. And we're gonna go about our merry way. I think it's always better to go for the body, because it always seems like they fall down if you go for the body, but if you go for the head, the zombies can usually live without their heads. Yeah, see, look at that. See, that's literally, I didn't actually plan that, but and then I'm sure I could resurrect all these bodies and probably sacrifice them if I didn't have a blood sacrifice to, like, you know, increase the power and like get some new Grogroff. What is that? I think that's what I'm saying right there. I'm saying, like, what is that? I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna fight that guy. You know what? I might have to go back here when I play the game again. And then there's this door here, and then it probably has something to do with the puzzle. At least I'm assuming. I wonder if there's any way to move those statues or something. Probably is. So many secrets to this game. It's also so big. I must have been so trash to be taking so much time to save the guy. Basically, this is a cutscene where, like, they're like, oh wow, I didn't expect this to be here. How did I never see this? Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how you guys didn't see this. Well, to be fair, they were probably being manipulated by, like, some ancient god or something. It was kind of like changing their perception to, like, lure them in. That's kind of like what happened in Rick Rodriguez's Percy Jackson, where shoot, dang, what happened? How did Grover? I think Grover just got pulled. Like, I think in the movie he gets lured. No, I think in the book he gets lured, and then in the movie he gets pulled, I think, to hell. Anyway, this is a new area. I'm kind of just like walking around. I see the statue here. See if we can see some stones. I wonder if stones have, like, a pretty high, like, chance of hitting stuff. Because that's kind of like the use of him. If they're gonna do like 20 damage, they also can hit ghosts for some reason. They can hit ghosts, but like my freaking swords can't hit ghosts. Like, it's kind of like Earthquake can't hit Gengar because he's levitating, which doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna lie. Well, to be fair, Earthquake, nothing should hit Gengar because he's a ghost. He's a ghost type. That doesn't even make sense. Why would anything hit Gengar? Why would ice hit Gengar? Because he's not solid. Like, does ice not? I thought ice only affects solid things. Well, I guess it does affect gases too, right? Does it? But ghosts don't. I don't even know. How would that even work? You would think that ghosts would be superior to, like, everything. Actually, what is the weakness of ghost types in freaking Pokemon? I actually wonder. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Anyways, I go inside this house and I'm kind of searching this thing and I find nothing. Oh gosh. Oh. And there he is. The Lord of Flies. Smirking at me, huh? Well, smirk on this, you freaking bozo. About to get smacked. Alright, well, I didn't actually mean to miss that. But I do take off his arm. Slap his leg. Hit his leg. I wonder if there's, like, any, like, special, like, talking interactions. I could try that. But I kind of destroyed all the Lord of Flies in this episode. If there is more, I'd be surprised. I mean, I killed a lot of them. I took up his head pretty easily. Well, he was off balance, I think. I don't think I got lucky. I think he was just off balance. From what I've seen, I think the best way to deal with the Lord of Flies is kind of just take off his arms first. Instead of going for the legs and then the arms, or the legs and then the head, it's better to go for the arms. Because he kind of does too much damage. He kind of does like 30 a pop. Even with armor, he does like 30 a pop. Oh yeah, I think later down the line, I end up picking up Devour. And then I start like devouring some of these guys instead of like, ooh, scroll leeches. I think I use that immediately. Yeah, and I give that to me. I don't think I ever use it this episode though. But it is a step in the right direction. I want to get affinity with the God of Fear and Hunger, so that I can, or I guess it's called the God of the Depths, so that I can get one of the better spells for that branch. Particularly the crow spell, because the crow spell makes it more likely for the enemy to hit. Anyways, I'm walking down here and I'm like, alright, I gotta heal you guys up because you guys are freaking low on HP and you guys keep dying a lot. You guys suck. And I see this guy in the freaking darkness and I'm like, what is this guy? And I talk to him and I'm like, greetings, like, are you good or are you crazy? He doesn't say anything and I'm like, bro. Man, his freaking eyes are following me and I'm like, bruh, what do you want to do? What you want to do? Do something. We'll make something happen. I'm still watching him. I see him moving around and I'm like, alright, you're moving too sporadically. And then a spider starts chasing me for some reason. He stares into emptiness, huh? But he is the first dual wielding like opponent, I think. The other guy, Isaiah, I think he had one blade and it was hidden. And I kind of just chopped off his arm pretty easily. You know what? Now that I noticed that his name literally says Cyril and I wasn't paying attention. I probably could have left him alone. Probably saved his life. But I wasn't paying attention. Poor Cyril. That was one of the guys they wanted me to save. At least he was part of the crew that was sent down here to like explore. I think was it to explore the dungeons or was it to like was they already here and they were like defending? I'm pretty sure the lore is that like this is like some kingdom, and the kingdom is kind of just like going mad because of like the mist and the dungeon and the God of the Depths and the gods and everything goes crazy. That's how you get all these crazy people. Everything's so crazy and you got spiders everywhere. But he does have a really, really strong armor set, so I can't say I'm too mad. Oh gosh. I'm doing all this in one take. I had to drink some water for that. If I didn't drink water for him, I mean, I think I would have been sounding like a freaking... What's an animal that doesn't sound good? Oh, well... oh yeah, that would be like a mountain lion. I think mountain lions are pretty scary. At least they like sound scary when they're freaking in the middle of the dark. Well, not really in the middle of the dark, middle of the forest, kind of. So I see we're kind of like 40, about like 30, 35% of the way through. Got a long way to go. But at this point, I'm kind of just like looking through some of these scrolls. And then I decide to like devour this guy's body. Unfortunately for that guy, he shouldn't have gone crazy. Tried to attack me. You gotta keep control of your emotions. Oh, you said is what? That's like, I like literally every kung fu movie. Kung Fu Panda, Karate Kid. Well, that's not really kung fu. Low key, I always feel like when I watch Karate Kid, I always feel like something happens in that movie that I just do not remember. Also, I got scared of that spider for some reason. I wanted to beat up the spider, so I think at some point I started attacking him. It was kind of crazy. I actually don't think I'm that scared of spiders, but I am cautious of this game because I have a feeling that like if I attacked that spider, it would go crazy. Same thing here. I thought that if I blew this thing up, that's why I kind of walked away. I thought if I blew this up, then that spider would kind of, there would be like a pack of spiders and maybe a spider queen, and they would just eat me and my entire crew, like on some crow mauler stuff. What's annoying here is that like I didn't notice, but like that little patch right there, that like seems like weird. There's actually a door there, and it doesn't look like there's a door there. It kind of just looks like it's a dead end, unfortunately. Well, not here, like not here where I blew up the wall, but yeah. If you don't understand what I'm saying, then that's literally what I mean. Like it's very obscure and you can't really see it. You can't really see it that well. See, look at that. I would have never found that, but like it's just by coincidence. And Nashor's kind of give us some lore about him. And then he basically says that he's basically gonna take me out if I don't listen to him. And I didn't listen to him. Well, he didn't take me out. He's a paper tiger, like a certain somebody that the world knows, or maybe they don't know. I am actually contemplating jumping down there when I play the next time. But I have a big feeling that like if I jump down there, I'm probably gonna get eaten, or there's probably spikes down there. But to be fair, I have nothing to go off of to tell me that there is spikes there. So low-key, it could actually be a good option. Anyways, I decided to get up out of here. We're kind of just moving on through. I'm being extra vigilant. I don't want nothing to go wrong. But I finally get up to out here, and I see this cube thing. Like that little spot with the cube. It's kind of asking for me to put my cube at the depths in there. I was a little scared to do that, so I'm kind of just moving around, not trying to avoid doing that. Then this crazy guy just starts talking to me about tribunals and trials and torments, and I'm like, all right, bro, put the fries in the bag. Like, do your job. Stop looking all crazy and insane, but it doesn't really matter because he is crazy and insane, so it doesn't matter what I think. It just matters what he is. Well, I guess it does. Not really. The creator of this game is honestly pretty smart, because to be fair, a lot of video game creators are pretty smart, because like their creative vision is kind of just like putting stuff together that they just like. That's kind of how you get a lot of stuff. But we're kind of just moving on through the ancient city. Now we get to this part, and now the Lord of Flies is kind of dragging somebody on the ground. So I'm kind of just like interrupting him because I gotta beat that guy up, otherwise he's gonna take her out. Now, low-key, I wish I could have saved everybody, because if that was Cyril, and I wasn't paying attention, but the fact that I couldn't save Cyril is kind of annoying. The Snatcher. Wait, his name is the Snatcher? Or are all of them called the Snatcher? I wonder if he like worships some god or something. It would make sense if he's called the Snatcher. Also, that's really annoying that like they can do that. And then I thought I decided to devour him. didn't. Well, I didn't do anything to him. But I do decide to like save the girl after looting the area, because you know that's kind of like what you're supposed to do if you see somebody on the ground and they're struggling a lot. You're supposed to kind of just ignore them and kind of go about your business and focus on your interests, which is loot. Even though she's dismembered and barely breathing, she is in bad condition, man. I'm all right, I'll save you. What's your name? Eugenie? Alright. Rondon? Oh yeah, that's my boys too. At least I have two of your boys right here. I saved one of them. The other, actually, I saved all of them, actually. Everybody with me, I saved. You got ambushed. Who'd you get ambushed by? Probably the guy who just beat you up. Well, to be fair, their story is kind of complicated. So basically, like, they were separated, and then Cyril ended up together, and those two were together, and then they went lower, but then they were ambushed by the crow, and then they all like ran away. I'm surprised they got away from the crow. The crow is kind of dangerous. But, like, doesn't the crow like worship some god, or is the crow the god? Is crow the god? Probably is a god. Maybe not the god, because I kind of beat him up. Anyway, she asked for help to like go to the top floor. I'm like, all right, I'll help you out. You're kind of going crazy, so it makes sense for me to help you. And LaGuardia's kind of going crazy right now. But I do save the third person of Buckman's friends. And Buckman's like, yeah, man, I love you. I can't believe you saved him. Well, at least we know from like Buckman's testimony is that he was kind of just too scared. Sir Cyril won't have his way with you. We didn't find him, but we didn't find him dead. Who is he? And at this point, I was kind of thinking to myself, I probably knocked him off. I'm not gonna lie. Which is unfortunate. Hey, to be fair though, he shouldn't have attacked me. If he didn't attack me, I wouldn't have attacked him. I mean, that's as cool as it goes, you know. Anyways, these guys are kind of just scary, and they decide not to help me, even though I went through all this trouble to help them, and they're just like, alright, I guess I'll just be a freeloader. Well, to be fair, it's not freeloading. They're kind of like, have a very high chance of dying. And at this point, this guy starts going crazy. And I think he's going to start attacking me. But it's because of the blade, like I said. The blade is kind of crazy. And then he says he's got it under control. I still don't know about that. He's probably going to try to knock me off if like he gets possessed or something. Anyways, I go back to the area where I originally was. Kind of searching everything. And get some more worm juice, and like this city is like, seems like it's a very functioning city. Like it's an actual functioning city, but it like everything's crazy. But now you see that little guy and that little mole right there. Kind of scared me a little bit. Not really that much, comparatively. But he just looks so ugly. And why does he gotta look like that? He didn't do a lot of damage, so I decided to like talk to him. Which is fortunate for him. Because if I talk to him, he realizes that I can speak. I can speak to him. But I say, we're on the same side. And it says it's a truce. Oh, you talk our language. Let's call it truce. And then he's basically chilling now. Now me and him are just friends. Even though we just tried to, you know, knock each other off. But that's how friendships go. At least in anime. Oh gosh. Yeah, but they got these cages of these, you know, body parts in them. So whoever was in there is probably long past. But hey, at least I'm chilling. Also, I'm really lucky that I have Master of the Insects, which lets me talk to these animals, because it actually proves to be very beneficial in the future. Very, very, very beneficial. But as it stands right now, I'm kind of just looking for somewhere to save. If I end up finding his bed, and I just like, alright, bro, let's save the game. Boom. Now I decide to put in the cube of the depths to test out what it does. And voila. Now the game isn't so dark. It's not so fiery, huh? You can really see everything now. And look at it, you see my face? I said, what is that? I don't know if you saw that, but I saw it again too while I'm freaking watching this. But there was that freaking body guy. He looked like he had pretty long arms, or long legs. And I wonder how you get over there, not gonna lie. But if I get over there, he's probably gonna try to get me. Regardless of what, this town is kind of crazy. You see everything going on. Looks like there's ghosts walking everywhere. Then there's this giant pig statue, a piggy bank. Seems hollow inside. What does that even mean? Alright, regardless. Keep moving. But yeah, I'm kind of just exploring everything. How do you even open that door? There's gotta be like some other way to get over there. Regardless of what, they have this giant statue of this snake guy who has like looks like a freaking lion and canyon, and basically everything in the world has kind of changed. And then there's this girl who's in the darkness. I decided to attack her. And she's called the Uterus. Basically, she has the baby inside. The embryo, she calls it. She has these arms too. And I'm like, what do I even go for? Usually best bet, if you don't know the enemy, is usually to go for the thing that looks the most dangerous. And the thing that looks the most dangerous is probably the baby. But I decided to go for the arms, it seems like. I'm surprised I didn't go for the embryo. The embryo is definitely the most dangerous. Yeah, take off her arms to make sure she can't attack me. But what's interesting... Wait, what? He keeps fighting without his head. What do you mean? Fell on the ground from the uterus. Anyways, the freaking babies. Not really that deadly. Not really that threatening. But it does start looking a little threatening, so I start like, you know, ramping up the aggression. Because he is taking a lot of hits. But once I take him out, he's kind of done for. And I'm kind of just like, what do I even go for? I think I just go for the legs now. Kind of like try to one-shot her. But she does have pretty strong legs. She kind of does look like a ballerina. Also, what's up with her like blushing? What's her body supposed to be like? Like she's like mechanical, but like, is she really? Oh yeah, she probably is mechanical because she can survive without her head. I mean, at this point, she's kind of just on the floor, so kind of search her and there's nothing there. What if I tried to kick her? It says her body's pretty hard. But it looks like there's no more loot here. That kind of scared me, I'm not gonna lie. Watching this video back, that kind of scared me. Ironic, because I literally just edited the video. Anyways, I decided to go for the embryo. Take out the arms, go for the embryo. Pretty much the same strategy. Did I go for the body? Oh yeah, I decided to go for the body first to see if I could just take her out outright without having to go for the baby. Maybe speed some things up. It looks like it worked. I'm kind of curious what would happen if I tried to devour her. And then there's this giant hole here, and I don't see anything there, so I kind of just leave it alone. It doesn't look like I can go inside the hole. To be fair, I wouldn't go inside that hole either, so I don't blame my character. But I'm surprised that of all the things in this game, it didn't let me go inside the hole. Now I'm down here where the spider and the guy was. And then she's kind of just sitting there. Now she's moving around like a robot. But now there's a secret passageway. That kind of looks like a crow. Is that a crow? Oh no, that's the bug master. Bug master. It's the bug merchant. Sorry. I don't know why I said bug master. It's probably because I was playing Kenshi. And bug master is a major villain. Anyways, I go back up here. And then when I go past the hole, you'll see something very interesting. I'm kind of like, what is that hole about? And then that guy pops up and I kind of get terrified. Look at my face. To be fair, that was kind of scary though. Anyways, I go back into the real world, the original world, the night world. And I go down the alleyway that Nashiro told me to go down. And basically, I end up fighting my way on through. But I do notice that like this guy's kind of has like a, if you see him, he has kind of like a flower attached to him. So I was kind of looking at that flower there to see if I could like poison it or something. Well, to be fair, he's probably already poisoned, or probably his brain's taken over. But for some reason, it puts me into like a skill check. And then I beat the skill check, but now it's kind of just down to me just beating this guy up. I'm not gonna lie, whoever's controlling these guys, he's kind of lame, because like, do you really need this many minions? Well, you probably do, Loki. If you're gonna try to like take over the world or something, which is usually every main villain's kind of goal, is to take over the world. Anyway, Miasma's putting in a lot of work, even though Lagarde only has one arm, and he's hungry, so he's doing even less damage. He's doing even less damage. It doesn't even matter. And also because of the bug merchant, I bought an item from the bug merchant that basically gives me extra mind every turn. So that's what's equipped on my character. So every time you see that plus 10 or that blue 10, then that's me getting more mind. Dang, my freaking voice is already going. I'm not even shouting. I'm just talking into the microphone. Just talking into the mic. But don't worry, we're 60% of the way through. If you guys like this video, then subscribe and all that stuff. But if you don't like this video, then I don't even know why you're watching this. That's funny. Anyways, I go for this Lord of Flies over here. This guy's not like possessed for some reason. He basically tries to snatch me up. So I take off his arms. I kind of wonder if for talking to each one, it gives different dialogue, but I assumed it doesn't. His name is the Lord of Flies, though. Now, it is also kind of ironic, though, because, like, I'm supposed to be, like, a magician. Or, like, I'm supposed to be, like, a mage, but, like, I never use my mage powers. I'm kind of just always just beating things up with brute force. Oh, anyways, take off his arms. Take the legs. And the Snatcher's kind of... He is called the Snatcher. And at this point, because I knocked off one of his legs, I assumed that it would be pretty easy to hit him in the head. And I proved to be right. Jana. And for some reason, I'm not really devouring his body. But I guess I don't need to. I kind of just ate food. But basically, I try to go west here. And then we get to this altar. It's called the Pit of Enlightenment. And then at this point, I'm kind of looking for a save. So I decide to use the scroll, the empty scroll that I've been hyping up this entire video. Basically allows me to get anything in the game. Or almost anything in the game. So I have to do a prayer to the gods. I have to say, "Oh Lord," in the first verse. In the second verse, I have to say, "Give or teach." In this case, I'm doing give. I want, "Oh Lord," to give me ALCH EMILLA, right? Alright, I'm not going to sound this out because I'm taking too long. This kind of looks weird. Alchemia 1. Now, unfortunately, for some reason, it might just be because I have mods installed. Because I wasn't having any problems with it, like without mods. So it might just be with mods installed. But it's not giving me the items that I request, unfortunately. So I kind of wasted that scroll. Now we have all these ominous figures here. These guys are basically the gods. And Nashra is here with me too. Nashra was the only person that's with me. I didn't even notice that. So basically, I can ask them any question. So I decided to ask him about Saren. Because I didn't know if he was alive or not. And then they said, "We do not understand the question. You have 2 questions left. Ask anything you want. What subject do you want to know more about?" So then I ask about fear and hunger. You know, the title of the game. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. Alright, stop that. Now you guys are really gonna dislike the video. Alright, anyways, that one doesn't work either. So then I decided to ask God of the Depths. See what happens. I don't even know how I'm supposed to know what questions to ask. It probably has something to do with the lore. Then I would probably have a better idea. And then they said, "We do not understand the question." So basically, they're kind of useless. But they do give me the Book of Enlightenment, which gives me an extra save if you didn't know. I can save anywhere on the map, no matter what. And now I'm kind of just patrolling on through. Like a little old me go. Little old me. At this point, I'm kind of not running into food problems. I don't have any limb problems because I picked up the Salzman's snake rune, and then I have that equipped on me so that I can't lose any limbs anymore. For some reason, I thought the arm guards and the leg guards like protect the arms and the legs, but for some reasons they don't. I don't understand why they don't. It might just be a bug. So now I'm kind of just getting rid of... I actually thought I already got rid of all the Lord of Flies. Oh no, I said I got rid of all the Lord of Flies in this video. I definitely probably did, because I took out a lot of them here. I've had to attack at least like 6. One of them was possessed. I wonder if there's an actual like Supreme Lord of Flies. Like similar how to like in like really a lot of games they have like the main villain, but then they have his henchmen who are like kind of like emblematic of the villain, representative, like they do the same thing the villain does. I will say though, having Nashra on my team, it really does make things a lot easier. If I didn't have him and had to like have the little girl, I'm sure things would be a little harder. So if you notice, I'm like, I can just get infinite blue vials. So basically I'm kind of just sitting here and I'm kind of just like spamming and spamming and spamming and spamming and spamming and spamming until I basically feel like I have enough. But basically if I can get infinite blue vials because of the flies, because of the insects, or kind of just I can talk to the insects, I mean that's lit. I mean, at this rate, I might be able to take over the world with this power. You know, talk to animals, talk to insects. But yeah, I have 30 now, so I'm definitely not running out for the rest of the game. But now that I know that this exists, I definitely need to make sure that I get the God of the Depths, like, approval and whatnot. So that you can get Master of Insects. Master of Insects is ridiculously strong. I think only Inky is the only person that can get it, to be fair. But yeah, you see me kind of like gushing and going crazy because I'm like, bro, this is crazy. At this point, I'm kind of contemplating jumping down into that hole. But I guarantee you, if I jump down that hole, I'm probably gonna get impaled by spikes. They're not just gonna let me jump down the hole. Usually if something is a bad idea, you probably shouldn't do it in this game. Then there's this guy's dead body. But it does let me pick up a new ghoul. Like, there's so many spots for ghouls. So many spots for ghouls. Then there's this creepy lady who's in the corner. There's something written here. Why? What is the secret? So at this point, I'm kind of like, alright, this is a puzzle. I don't know what the circle is supposed to mean, but this is a puzzle, definitely. Yeah, but this party, Lagarde, me, Darcy, and Nashra, I think that's kind of just a supreme party. Especially if I have the marriage. If I'm already marriaged, like, I'm kind of like just chilling, man. It's kind of just nothing interesting here. Yeah, this is kind of just like, it's kind of just a giant library here. It's called the Grand Library, to be fair. But then there's also this guy. This is one of the enemies that I fought in like the tree place that I talked about, but I didn't show, unfortunately, because I wasn't recording. I'm looking now on my video, and I'm 100% recording this audio. So if this somehow does not get recorded, I'm gonna be heated. Basically, one of these guys can like poison you. If you see his giant head, if you smack his head, then like he like spews poison everywhere. So that's kind of like why I didn't want to attack him in the head. So I kind of just decided to like go for the body. But I also decided to go for the bell first, because I have a feeling if he goes for that, if he sounds the bell, I'm probably gonna get beat up. So that's kind of like the main thing to get rid of. But he does do a lot of damage. And I'm just kind of slapping him up. Nitro is just so useful, bro, because he just can't die. It's like there's really like no downside to him. But to be fair though, if you have like 2 sorceress stones and you put them on like him and not, if you put them on him and the little girl, and you give the little girl some like spells, she could probably be pretty strong. There's all these books here. Books here, coin flips, and all the above. Oh, oh Jesus. Jesus. At this point, I'm kind of thinking to myself, the fact that they're giving me so many books is probably proof that they want me to read the books. Because that's what I was thinking. I also kind of wonder if that Fellowship book is kind of like referencing like the Fellowship, you know, Lord of the Rings. Miro, or whatever his name is, or whatever his last name is. I'm surprised I didn't go through that door. Oh Lord, give Soulstone. I wonder if that's like a hint. Anyways, Miro is kind of like very inspired by like a lot of media. Anyways, I decided to put the Cube of the Depths in here and look here. Kind of devouring that corpse, and I'm kind of just like, what's happening? I mean, these are the embryos. Well, this is an embryo. This is an embryo. Now, for some reason, I decided to fight these guys when I was kind of like, both my characters were starving. So I ended up doing a lot less damage than what I should have been doing. But those critical stabs do a lot of damage, as you can see. Like 37. And critical stab is low-key a kind of broken ability, because the Night Lurcher in the cave, he could do critical slash. It wasn't stab, it was slash. Critical slash is kind of stupid powerful. I swear it does like 67 damage or something ridiculous. I just want to try this again, but like I want to like eliminate all my party members and just have ghosts. I'm kind of looking at that guy's eye that's like kind of like in the wall. And there's also that guy who's like, his body's like stuck in the tank. I have a feeling if I let that guy out, he's kind of gonna go crazy on me, because he does not look nice. Anyways, I wasn't talking about ghosts. I meant I wanted skeletons and like skeletons and ghouls. I did try to merge myself with a skeleton, but it doesn't let me merge with a skeleton because skeletons don't have any meat or any flesh, which I guess does make sense. But I mean, Sylvian's kind of just discriminatory. Anyways, it didn't look like much change in that room. So I kind of just go back and I'm kind of just looking around. I end up going downstairs. And then I decide to follow that thing. Wait, what happens if I go down instead of going up to the temple? That's probably another way I can go. Regardless of what, there's that creepy statue there, and I kind of just decided to go inside the library. I'm just looking around. I wonder if those eyeballs mean that the god of the depths is kind of nearby. And I also wondered if, like, you see that picture of that face? I wonder if that's the face of, like, the little girl. Because if now's the time to get her, I think now's the time to get her. I think she would be probably pretty useful. Well, not useful in a fight, but, you know, useful for me to grab. Nice. I still don't know what it means when it gives me the exclamation point. I kind of wonder what that means. Because it always gives me the exclamation point, but it doesn't make any sense what it is. Or maybe it just means that, like, that guy has a phobia. That would make sense. That would make sense. Like, you know how, like, the game has, like, the Book of Fears? Book of Fears basically tells you, like, what each person's fear is. And, like, each character has a fear except for Nashra, because, like, he's a god. And, like, you know, gods don't get feared. Or gods aren't feared. Well, I guess some gods are fearful of something. Usually. Now I'm kind of looking at the map that I have to see if I can solve this puzzle. I'm not gonna lie, I have no ideas on how to solve this puzzle. Low-key, this stuff might be some Macabry stuff. Like if I had the Book of Macabry or the Passages of Macabry, and I can go inside the secret world. It's basically a book. It's a rare book that lets you go inside a pocket dimension. But I don't have the book, so I still don't know if the map is helping me in any way. Probably not. I guess low-key I could try to talk to my crewmates, see if they have any ideas to help me. If now's the time for them to freaking help me, now's the time. Basically, I go into the real world to see if there's anything that changed. And now I'm basically like, oh, there's 3 statues here, but 2 are missing. Hey, you know what? Loki maybe wants me to, like, do nothing. Or maybe wants me to have, like, them, like, poseless or what. But basically, that's all for the video. Now I basically just close out here. Kind of wonder what these 3 statues mean. These 4 statues, the other 5 statues. But I'll probably figure it out the next time I play the game. Anyway, see you guys. Have a good one. Peace out.